The following is something that I'm going to read. It's gonna take a lot of time to finish this reading, and it is a part of my diary that I write. And I've taken the discipline and the consistency to do this like for a very long time, and I have tons of them. And I just thought it could be an amazing idea to practice reading them. And yeah, I don't know, I just feel like I must have a sort of visual recording of them. Of course, I'm really lazy to actually print these words and write them into a very digital format, because I just have, you know, I write them in books. So it is all handwriting, because I do it as a journaling, and this part particularly just resonates with me a lot, because it's something I write about my family and my father especially. And as part of this day, because we are the first day of February 2025, and I was just trying to understand something, and I just wanted to go back and read some stuff that I wrote about, and it's amazing. And for the state, I wrote this on I mean the last day of 2024, like 2031, in December 2024. So it's gonna be yeah, it's gonna be amazing. So here it is, last day of 2024. I could never imagine this present moment. Life is filled with beauty and pains. One of the most important things in life is the ability to live in the present, to see things as they are and to accept them. A couple of days ago, I was talking with my friend Andrea. He went on a 10-day meditation retreat. It is known as Vipassana. We've talked about it before he went, so he shared his experience with me, and I felt I truly needed to do that. The retreat consists of 10 days of a sort of isolation where you don't have anything to do, then just wake up at 4 a.m. and meditate all day and sleep at 9:30 p.m. You don't talk to anyone, nor do anything else. I applied for the next course of January 8th, and it has not been accepted yet, but I started practicing the meditation at home. I did 1 hour of meditation. It was truly tough because of the pain in my body. I wasn't able to complete the first hour in the sitting position, but I tried another 30 minutes later and I completed it. Yesterday, I did another 1 hour in the morning and 30 minutes in the night at 2 a.m. when I finished building my website and ready for sleep. This morning, I just finished 1 hour of meditation, and during my meditation, albeit I followed the concept, which is to focus one attention on the breath and then to scan any sensation on the body. My thought wandered in a moment to Nigeria, Nifo. That is where my father lives currently to do his farming. The reason why I stay on this thought is because it is related to the last journal I wrote and also the coaching session I did with Elena yesterday. She is the girlfriend of Andrea. The nature of reality of my family lies in each action in the present, but I haven't really ever felt it. We are from Rasame, a small village in the commune of Lalo, department of Kufo, Benin Republic. Benin is my country. But my family, my father, leaves home to live in Naifor, Edo State in Nigeria, in order to do farm. Naifor is actually a sort of institution. It is a big farming corporation that processes palm oil mainly. So it has housing system for its worker and staff, and they live there. It then became a sort of town, village. Many children are born there and just know that they are from there. My father is not part of NIFOR's cooperation system. He is a self-employee who buy palm trees from the institution because they have no more use to the company. They have no more use to the company after a period of time, and then we transform them into wine and later alcohol. Normally, the company just destroy the palm trees in order to plant new one. So the fact that some people find it useful and want to buy it, it's actually a really good deal for them. Not only they will not spend no more energy and resources in the destruction, but also they get money from it, and then these people, my father and his peers, occupy the land to do farm and grow crops, meaning they maintain the land, reduce the company needs of work, reduce the company need of work. It is a big juicy deal for the company and also for my father. In my country, we don't have such palm tree to exploit it, but we have the skills to do it. In Nigeria, there are billions of the palm trees, but nobody knows how to use them after they were planted. After they were used for what they were planted, like we can use them. Of course, this company makes billions of naira from the oil processing alone, but they could have made more if they had a plan to use the land for crops and to transform the palm trees into wines. But that was not their focus. When I was living in Nifor, I went there for the first time in the end of 2015 to 2016. I had the idea to make a deal with the company. Our cooperation could extend further if they could understand our real value. But my father is afraid because we were so happy and overwhelmed by the little we had that they didn't want to ask more, because in our country we couldn't have gotten even 1% of what we have in Nigeria. I understand his reason. They were afraid that these people might discover that we actually make good money from this. So we lived in a sloth, some sort of bungalow. This is the most important part. It was part of the strategy to use the resources available to appear poor more than we actually are. We were really we were way better than most employee make we were better we were way better than most of the employee working for the company, but those employees lived a better lifestyle than us. We had everything that we needed to work and to survive. Nothing to build in Nigeria, just use the resources and export the product to the end user consumer in our country, Benin. Nigeria is not even our market. The only way we serve the Nigerian market is actually growing crops they wanted and asked for. They didn't buy anything we produce for our own consumption. They occasionally do, but it's not scalable to them. They just wanted what they wanted, and we produce it to them. And since our focus was on palm tree into wine and alcohol, we needed a little bit focus to produce crops for the Nigerian markets. Our moon production was focused on crops for our own consumption and to also produce some other crops for the demand to just have cash flow. The big money is only made when we export alcohol to Benin and complain the deals with the end users customers. In Nigeria, I always felt wed to different things. One, because we were living like very poor, but in my country, I don't live like that. So here, my father lives very poor to ensure I don't live like that. I don't live like that in my country. Most of the people who work in the farm with my dad are people without any education, so they lack a lot of understanding and couldn't speak English. In my country, I wouldn't be close friends with them, but they work for my father, so people tend to see ours as to be the same. Because I knew we were not the same, not because they work for my father, but because of our level of education, I always tried to show off, to do something to differentiate myself from them. Obviously, the difference between us was already evident because they've been working in the farm for years and I'm just coming for holidays, so even our look and body were different. When people came there, they also added surprise to see a well-looking young boy like me working in the farm. And also, I spoke a bit better English than the others. So people always said, "Why shouldn't you shouldn't be here? Why are you doing this?" They treated the people around me with lesser consideration, but they seemed to give me a better attention and I loved it. I started to behave way to make in more way to make them like me. When talking with the workers, people always notice the difference. When working with the workers, people always notice the difference and would tell me something concerning how such a brilliant boy would be in the farm. Of course, I would say I'm here just for a vacation with my dad, and someone would say also, or someone would say he is the boss son. But of course, different. I wasn't treated any very different way by my father. I was not treated any different by my father in different from his employees, which was good to make me experience the realities. But every day, someone else would come and notice that I was special and different. That feeling grew. But of course, I blame my father for not renting a better house or for living poor. Without remembering that he actually did all that to allow me to be special. He lived but poor. People never knew he was the boss. They would treat him like a mere person among his workers. And my father never really behaved as if he was the boss or tried to show he was the one in charge. He lived a diligent life to allow me to represent the image of something special. A person people liked to people liked and wanted to be around. Often I would take defense when someone is trying to lack respect for my dad because he was the special one. I never knew how he was able to do that, to support pains and to not complain, to endure being nobody, to allow me to be somebody. That's a degree of sacrifice I didn't recognize. I haven't known his value back then. I was ashamed of ourselves, of the way we lived, of who we seemed to be. I was disgusted by the clothes we wore, by the food we ate, by the hard work. But that has been all his life, to allow me to experience something special. And today I am surrounded with everything I could possibly want. I feel I need more. I want more. I want more. I want to have more. I want to be more rich. And I also feel like I'm going to fail, that I may not be able to do this as I thought. I feel it is more harder than I imagined. I feel the whole world is against me. I feel that I'm alone against everything. But today, I remember how far I've come. This was a dream years ago, but now it is my reality, and I have to accept it and use it, everything around me, into my favor. There is no other reality than now. Everything is here to work in my favor. And of course, I will do it. I will do the work. It's going to be extremely hard, but my father has done it and I can do it too. I will do it for my family, for my father. This is not just for myself anymore. I've lived a while for myself. It is time to start living for others, to start serving. This is the end. Well, I wrote this a time ago when I was, reflecting on. Normally, I just write. I have tons of things like this that I wrote about, and it is very great for myself to be able to meditate and reflect on things and think about things I haven't been able to think about otherwise, and see things through different lens, and being able to reflect on the past in a very positive way has been inspiring to me, because I can definitely rephrase things that I didn't properly understood before, and to be more appreciative towards them, to be more appreciative toward those moments. And of course, I was just a kid. I didn't understand the value of the sacrifices of my father. Of course, I knew we were poor, but we were not so much poor, but we were not living the life that we could live. I saw people around that had a better lifestyle that I desired, and I just wanted the same thing for my family. Although I didn't know how to do that, but I just wanted something like that for my family. And to this point, I still want the same thing. I still dream of the same thing. I still inspire for the same thing all of my life. And at this stage, of course, it is sometimes so confusing to understand. And in this short diary that I wrote, there is a lot of business values out there, and there are also a lot of philosophy principle out there. One of the things that I also understand was the demand. Understanding the demand, like supply and demand. In Nigeria, we were producing things from our own consumption. The people, like the Nigerian people, all sometimes come and ask for certain products, but they don't ask for what we consume. They ask for what they want to consume, and We produce it specifically for them while also producing what we wanted to consume, and that is somehow the principle of business. Now, I also mentioned the big money is made only when we sell the alcohol, the liquor in our country, which is the main focus here. Because we transport the product back into our country, and then we do everything over there, and it's kind of make the big pay. And that is the main focus of my father and his business partner, how they do it. And most people in my country are actually business owners, like they own the farm and they own stuff like that. And it's been amazing to witness how they proceed and how they do business, although they haven't scaled the business at a very large at a global level, but they do survive and they do their stuff, and there is something to learn from there. And I haven't learned those when I was there, but now I see, like, okay, there is something I can definitely learn from that. So what is the point here? What is what is the thing that we should learn from here? And that is the point of me doing these stuffs. And living in Europe right now, it's really complicated. There is everything that you can think of. I mean, I'm living every time with electricity and the internet, and then again, the abundance of all these things is also the biggest challenge that I face. To try to, how do I disconnect myself from all this abundance of things and to focus and work and do what I want to produce? There is so much facility, easiness to consume, that it's really complicated to be a producer, and that is a very complicated thing, and I'm thinking about how to do that. And now, in my village, or in those places that where I lived with my father and worked with him, there were a lot of things that I learned, and they were not like this kind of abundance of the thing that I have now. But of course, I'm still abundant with these things, but I'm struggling to focus, because it is not easy to know what you have to choose when you have so many choices. And before, I didn't have so many choices. I just know what I have to do and I just do it. But now there is many things to do, or there is many things I can do, and I have to carefully choose what I want to do. And I might not also know what I definitely want to do. So that is also the tricky part. And trying to reflect on that. But shout out to my dad, because he has done a great job, and shout out to all the dad in the world. So many parents, whatever they are they try. We can also think about that as young men, how hard it is to raise ourselves and also try to raise family. I think that is a really tough thing to do. Men have done it and they keep doing it. They sacrifice themselves to make their children special, to have a better future and to have a brighter future. Shout out to them. And some parents just sacrifice their life experience just to contribute to the evolution of their kids and their children. At a certain point, there are things that I feel like, okay, I might not be able to do this anymore. Maybe my kid will do it, but I'm still single, so I have to force myself to okay, no, this is my duty, this is my job, and I don't have to put this on somebody else. I have to do this. And there are things that you don't want to let on to your children, that you want to take the risk and do them. So knowing that, okay, this has to be done and someone has to do it, it becomes a sort of, okay, so how do I do it now? You start looking for a solution. And well, I hope it's just, I think I will do more of this, because I have so many things I wrote about, and I have the laziness to not to read about. Because there is so much value I can actually extract from this myself. And also, I think it would be a great way for me to to write about it, and in digital form, because I can extract the script from the video and just put it into a book format and have access to them every time or anytime I want. So that was it. Yeah, I was actually lazy to make today's video, and I just thought, okay, I can do it this way. Well, yeah, that's it. I'm so hungry and I'm trying to avoid to eat cookies, but that's what I'm going to eat now, because I don't know what I want to eat. I'm going to buy just a shit gadget, and yeah, that's it.